Oh y'all, what I got for y'all today is a very special video. What I got is, on my last video I posted, worked on my transmission on my four-wheeler, tried to put it back together, tried to fix it and whatnot. Couldn't figure it out. I ended up taking all the gears out and putting it back in. Well, I just got tired of it. I ended up wearing out my transmission bearings. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this thing back together as best I can, put both casings back together, put all the bolts in, and just store it somewhere. What I got for y'all is I ordered a used transmission, so let me show y'all that real quick. So she's not really the fanciest because it is used. A new one was ridiculous. This one used was still pretty ridiculous, but it was a lot cheaper than what a new one would be or a rebuilt one would be. You can see that she probably sat on a shelf for a few years. She is dirty. You can see also that they didn't really care to clean the gasket surfaces. This is actually the side that hooks into my motor. This shaft goes in, and then I have this coupler gasket seal coming in. It should be here tomorrow, but let me try to flip this thing around. You see also they didn't really care to clean the gasket surface, so I'm gonna have to do that. Primary clutch goes on that shaft, and this is where the belt box goes over. So that piece right there is no good on this. That's where my linkage for my shifter hooks up to. So I have, that is your linkage piece that goes in. So I have to find a way to get this one out and swap it with that one. Also, I have to, today or tomorrow, take these snap rings and put it in my hubs for my bearings. This one's in there, but the one on that tire is not, so I think that's why my bearings keep going out. But I also have ordered a new drive shaft. I have two of these. I have the front one, and the back one will be here Saturday, which is that one that's just missing the U-joints. That's pretty much what I got going on today. I can't do nothing to installing the transmission until seal gasket comes in, my other drive shaft comes in, so I'll see y'all in a few days. Alright, so it's actually the next day. It's not Saturday, it's actually Friday. Yesterday was Thursdays when I started this video. Well, my coupler seal gasket came in from my transmission, still in the box. I'm going to show y'all that real quick. So this is the gasket I was talking about. It's pretty much the last thing I need but my rear drive shaft to put the transmission in. So right now at the moment I'm just cleaning my gasket surfaces on the transmission, the used one, on both sides. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. Alright, so got the surface cleaned on the transmission where the belt box sits. Now I have to clean the belt box side. See y'all in a few minutes. Alright, since now that step is done, I can move on to putting this gasket on after I clean my surfaces. Always clean your surfaces before you install any gasket or anything. That gasket's gonna go right there. Probably just gonna like adhesive it on there or something. I don't know yet. I haven't figured that out. I ain't got that far. But I also finished cleaning the surface on the back side of my clutch box that goes on the side of my transmission. And now I cleaned up. I'm gonna do a little bit more cleaning on this surface. This is where my transmission mounts up to my flywheel. The shaft goes in. Video me hooking all that stuff back up. It's super easy. Hard part's gonna be maybe getting this transmission on, so that's what I'm doing at the moment. Finally got the transmission in place and set, and now I'm finishing putting the 13mm bolts in. Alright, I got all the bolts snug, a little more than snug, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start slipping on my primary and my secondary clutches, which are sitting right here. First I'm going to clean them, and then I'm going to put them on and tighten them down, and I bought a torque wrench to torque them. Figure out how to open this thing. Little fancy dancy little torque wrench. Totally forgot. So, yeah. Before I put my clutches on, I gotta put this half cover clutch box on. Pretty sure T40 is the size And here are the bits. Alright, now that that step is done, so now I'm hooking up these vent lines. There's just two vent lines. One goes into like where my flywheel is, where my starter hooks up. The other one is for the vent line to the transmission, hooking those up, and then I'm going to hook up the linkage for my shifter and then see y'all in a few minutes. I was able to pull it outside because it can move now, but I hooked those vent lines up right there and right there. It's very simple, obviously. And then my linkage to my shifter, just a bolt and a nut, go right there. Actually need to tighten up on it, but it'll be fine for now. It's lock nut and whatnot. But right now I just threw my plastics on, finished putting my bolts in that mount it. I started doing that, and then throw the rest of my plastics on, or what I can get on tonight. Definitely gonna get my front end on. My wheel wells, that might be another day, but yeah. Alright, so I got my front plastics on the four-wheeler. I was going to video it, but who wants to see that? What I am about to work on in a second is I'm going to work on putting the pieces of metal for my wheel wells so I can mount my wheel wells. Let me show you all that here real quick. Alright, I got these pieces of metal that I'm going to use. I actually sanded this side down because I might paint it black on both of them. I got these from my little scrap pile back in the backyard, so I'm going to use these for my wheel wells. As you see, I already got the holes drilled. All I have to do is just drill the holes out a little bit bigger for these bolts, so I can basically, so it'll fit, but that's where it's going. I had to trim out a tab for my rear brake, which is right here, and then I also had to trim where my tire goes. I just trimmed this out so the tire would not scrub it, because that would be bad news bears right there. So right now I have to just mount this and then put my wheel well on, and I'll be done with this side. So I decided before I actually mount, my wheel wells right there with the plate, I had to get bolts and nuts, but I also had to do some more trimming on this side. The same thing on my tire I did right here, and then I had to wallow out a few of these holes. So I just wallowed them out a little bit. Had to cut this little divot out, and I'll show y'all why I had to do that. I had to do it because like that. So I had to cut this out because of this bracket to my motor. And I had to cut this little out because this bracket to my transmission was in the way. And now next, I'm going to work on straightening these out a little bit, so this piece can mount onto it straight without any bending. But first, before I do that, I got to eat lunch, so I'm probably going to cook something real quick. So what I'm cooking is I got me some chicken tenders that I cut up, some sausage, and some onions. I'm gonna put on the Blackstone real quick. And I did a great job on that. It's the best chicken I've ever cooked. But right now I'm about to get back to screwing with the four-wheeler. So I actually got the wheel wells painted, got all that mounted up, got my little pop rivets put in, wheel well plastics put on. Didn't think to really video that because who wants to see that? I want to see more interesting stuff, which I'm trying to do. Trying to get better at making my videos more interesting. But if you like the video, see y'all on the next one.